What is going on, everybody? Blake with the Linux Fraud, and yes, today we're going to talk about Qtile. Kind of going off of the video from yesterday, how I did a GNOME setup. Today we're going to do a walkthrough of how I set up Qtile. I did see a comment a week or so ago about somebody wanting to see the setup that I do for Qtile, so I figured why not. We did one yesterday. I like customizing desktops and whatnot, and so yeah, why not? Let's just jump into it. I, of course, have a good old Endeavor OS VM right here. This is i3. When I install Endeavor, I install i3. In the community section where you can do you can download community desktops, there's a few other window managers like Qtile, Worm. I don't know the other ones, but there's a handful of them there. I hate Endeavor's Qtile setup. I just don't like the configuration. They do like they have everything in different files. They don't just have one configuration file. I'm not a fan of that, but I do like to have at least one other window manager installed alongside Qtile just in case something happens. Actually, with the most recent Python update going from 3.10 to 3.11, it completely broke my Qtile config. So having another window manager installed alongside on my system means that I can go in there, I can fix everything, and then I can log back into Qtile, right? And yes, I know I just had a whole spiel about how I moved to GNOME. Just don't question it. It is what it is. I'm not even going to talk about it. Just kidding. I will talk about it in a later video. I don't know. Qtile's got its hooks in me, I suppose. If anyone got that, then you're as big of a nerd as I am. Alright, let's jump into a terminal real quick, because the first thing that we need to do is install Qtile. Like I said, if I install a new system and I am solely going to be using Qtile, I like to have i3 installed alongside it, because again, not to repeat myself, but I just don't like Endeavor's Qtile version or whatever. So I install i3, and then from here we can go into the terminal, do sudo pacman -s Qtile. So we got Qtile installed, and also something that we need installed. There's two other things. You need to do sudo pacman -s python -dbus next. You want that installed. I'll explain later. And then also, this is in the AUR, but you have to install the Qtile extras package. So yay-s Qtile-extras. And you will need those last two, the Qtile extras and the Python dbus. You need those for at least my config to work. Alright, so now that those are all downloaded, we can go ahead and log out of i3. And there it is. We have stock Qtile. Now the first thing I'm going to do is open the run menu, or whatever it's called. I forgot what the actual widget is called for Qtile, but we'll open up Firefox. Now we're going to head over to github.com/thelinuxfraud. Now from here, I actually have all of my Qtile config. I'm not going to go into every single application that I use or things like that. I will just show you how I set it up. If you are interested in having a Qtile setup like mine, I will of course link my GitHub down below, and then all you'll need is really right here. I don't have it all under Qtile, but this is like my fish config, my NeoVim, which I already have a video on that, and I'll link that right up on top for you if you want to see that. Also, what's really important is this install script. So I'm going to clone this repo. I have a Arch install script and then also a Fedora install script. That was back when I used Fedora. I don't use Fedora at all anymore. But I'm going to clone this repo. I'll first make a repos directory, cd into that, and then do git clone, paste that link. You can see right there now the install script directory is on my system, cd into that, and you can of course see the Fedora and the Arch install script. You have to run that bash script. They're both bash scripts, so you have to give permission to that Arch script to install. What it is, and absolutely do not install it until you look through it. I can show you really quick though. All it is just it's just a list of like main packages that I install on a new system. I'm going to add some to this because as I've used Linux longer, there are other packages that I use and that I plan on adding to this. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But as you can see, all it does is it installs Thunar, Linus, UFW, Arch Audit, PWGen, Cracklib, ZSH, NeoVim, Alacrity, all that shit. So, of course, never just install scripts or run scripts and install shit, clone repos or whatever, without going through and actually looking at what you are doing. Please don't just do it blindly. That's just dumb. So I'm going to do chmod u+x arch. And then now you can see that you can, and then from here you can do /arch install script, and that will run that script. Put in your password. And then again, you can just see it's just installing all of those packages. Some of them are already installed because this is Endeavor. If you are running like a brand new Arch system, none of these would be installed. But yeah. I'm just going to reinstall them, and then it's going to install these other ones as well. And then while that is doing that, we will open up Firefox again, actually go back to my GitHub, and then we're going to go to the Qtile repo. Now, actually I need to add this into that script, but you want to install sxhkd and pycom as well, so we'll do that right now. Is this done? Yes, it is. So sudo pacman sxhkd and pycom. And then from here, now you could clone this repo, but I'm going to show you, I don't have these, a couple of these like the sxhkdrc, that's the configuration file for sxhkd, that needs to be in its own directory. The pycom.conf and autostart needs to be in its own directory. I need to fix that. I just haven't done it yet. But I could just clone this repo and then move those files, but I'm just going to show you, I'm going to show you step by step in case you do want to have a system like mine. You can see I have some bullshit little instructions right here that do tell you that you need to put autostart, pycom, and sxhkd into their own directories. Alright, now that we got those all installed, we are going to cd into our .config. Actually, let's clear that up so it's just not all confusing and just, cluttered. Cluttered, that's the word I was looking for. cd into .config/qtile. Of course, the only thing in there is the config.py. We can nvim into config.py. I'm going to delete this whole config, so 197d. I already know that there's 197 lines in the default Qtile config, so we're going to clear that out. Go over here into my repo, copy all of this, and then paste it into the Qtile config. Do a right quit. Now, we actually have to make two directories, so we're going to do a make dir scripts and also sxhkd. Now we can cd into scripts. We're going to nvim autostart.sh. So now we're going to go back over to GitHub. We are in autostart, so we're going to click on the autostart file. Hit raw again. Copy all of that, and then paste it into the autostart.sh. Do a right quit. And then also what we want is a nvim pycom.conf. Go back here, pycom.conf, just copy and paste and everything. Paste that in there, right quit. Now we can cd into the sxhkd directory. Do nvim sxhkdrc. That's the sxhkd configuration file, of course. Go back over here to GitHub. Once again, raw, highlight everything, copy it. Oops, what did I just do? I've never done that before. It's like I dragged everything into it. We're just going to delete all of that. So 104D, and then paste. There you go. All right, right quit. And then from there, everything should be good. We got our config, got our auto start, our PyCom, and SXHKD, which is, of course, if you didn't know, that's for like key bindings and whatnot. Now, if I'm not going to go through like every line of each config and everything, I mean, you can do that yourself if you want. I guess if you want to see a video like that, then let me know down in the comments. We can do that. But this is just how I set up my Qtile system, right? And I wanted to share it with you guys in case you wanted a system like mine, or you wanted it to be exactly like mine, or take mine, take the config and, you know, change it on your own system and everything, come up with your own stuff, your own ideas. Now we are going to quit out of everything, and then we can go down here to shut down. Once again, put in your password to log back in. Ooh, I messed up. See, now this is a great example of why it's good to have either another desktop environment or another window manager installed on your system, because I messed up. I didn't give permissions to, or maybe I did to auto start, but I didn't to the SXHKD RC file. We're gonna log out. We're gonna log back into i3, cd config /Qtile. Yeah, see, I didn't change permissions to auto start to my autostart.sh file. That has to have execute permissions so that it can actually run on auto start. So I need to redo that. So we do chmod u+x auto start. There it is. Now we can log out of i3. There's a hook in. You see, there's a hook in my auto start that actually makes SXHKD run. And so when I logged in previously, none of my key bindings would work because I didn't change permissions for the autostart.sh file. Now, by default, EndeavourOS uses this like arc dark theme. And actually, it doesn't look bad, especially because like I have the Nord theme going on right here up on the bar. Arc dark doesn't look that bad, except for the blue. It's a little, that blue is a little off compared to the blue in the Nord theme, but we're going to change that. So first of all, what we need to do is we can open up appearance or LX appearance. That's this, right? Now I could go and just use arc dark, which actually doesn't look bad. It really, it kind of fits with the Nord theme, but you can go a step further and actually go, there is a package in the AUR. If you do EA-SS Nordic Darker, you can see there's actually right here and a Nordic Darker theme. So you can do EA-S Nordic Darker theme. And this is going to take a second, but alright, so now that that is actually installed, we can go back to LX Appearance, close that out, and open it again. We can see right there, Nordic Darker. And it just looks a lot better because it's not that blue isn't off, right? Now it really fits. So we can apply this. Now you can see that if we open up our, Thunar, our file manager, it matches. Our Firefox theme matches. And actually though, I will say you can go in here, go into settings of Firefox, go down here to extensions and themes, go to themes. If you search Nord, either this one's good, I like this one, or there is the Polar Night. That one's pretty good too. I like that one. So we'll install that. Add, hit hit OK, and bam. It doesn't look much different, but it does look different. It just fits, you know, you see it fits the Nordic darker theme that you just installed. It fits it a lot better. Now, of course, we have to set a wallpaper, right? I mean, nobody just wants a blank screen because that doesn't really look all that good. What we can do then is, so actually, what I normally do on my actual host system is I use Fe for my, or Fe, however you say it. I use that for my wallpapers. But in virtual machines, it always messes up. Like whenever it won't set to like the actual size of the screen. It's always just, it always looks weird. I mean, I could show you really quick. So we go into cd.config, Qtile, scripts, nvim into auto start. So we can change that, of course, by doing home, Qtile, pictures, and then I have this picture in here, Earth in Space. .png. Then you want to and after that. And I'll show you actually what it looks like. So we'll save that, exit out of here, and then we'll log out really quick, log back in. Now it looks fine now, right? But then whenever you go, you do xrender to set your resolution, it always does that. So specifically only on VMs, I use nitrogen for wallpapers. If it's my host OS, I use Fe. But anyway, so we'll, I actually have to install nitrogen, sudo pacman-s nitrogen. And it doesn't matter, I mean, you could use nitrogen or Fe, or I know that there's other applications to set wallpapers out there. I just personally use Fe. I don't, you know, I used to use nitrogen on my actual host systems, but I just don't anymore. So we'll go here, nitrogen, preferences, add pictures, select, OK, and right there. We'll hit apply, and bam, you got your Qtile setup. Now you could go, I actually like to use, there's a few different things. So I like to use fish as my, my shell. I use fish. You can actually see, if we go back to my GitHub page, you can see there's a fish directory. Starship prompt is actually what I use as well. And then I've also got my alacrity config here and dunst config. So, you know what? I wasn't gonna, but let's just add those, right? So we'll go to alacrity, open up alacrity, do cd config. We'll make dir alacrity because I know that that's not there right now. Cd into alacrity, and vim alacrity .yml. We'll go over here to GitHub, copy that, highlight everything, copy, and then paste. And see, what I really like too is, even you see when we highlight everything over here on GitHub, it does that, like, it's not that bright blue or anything color, it's this dark, like, grayish blue that really fits really well with the Nord theme. Let's go over here, right quit. We exit out of alacrity, open it back up, and bam, there it is. All right, everybody. Well, that is a quick rundown of how I set up my Qtile system. Yes, I know I cannot be trusted. I jump between desktop environments and window manager. Well, not really. I jump between GNOME and Qtile. I don't know I don't know what my problem is. I have a problem. I really do. But yeah, I'm back on Qtile. Maybe tomorrow I will be on GNOME again. Who knows? Not really. I'm getting tired of setting up my system and everything. Even though I have like my config files and stuff all backed up, I'm getting tired of setting up a new system. I'll give you a little insight on why I made the jump to GNOME. Was really because of Wayland and like the insecurities of Xorg and X11, but I've started to do a little bit more research, and I have come to realize that sure, there may be some insecurities and vulnerabilities within X11. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, I'm not saying that the code and everything isn't as bad as people make it out to be, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to dive a lot deeper into Wayland and Xorg in another video coming soon. I'm just doing all the research and, you know, writing the script and everything right now. And yeah, so that's where we're at. Again, I just wanted to show you how to set up Qtile like I do personally myself. If you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. It really does help out the channel more than you know. And if you're not subscribed, like a lot of you are not, consider hitting that subscribe button because we have a bunch more content coming your way.